Hey, how's it going? This is Kenny with Keller Williams Real Estate. Just checking in with another weekly video. Hope everybody's doing great. Having a great week so far. Um, I wanted to kind of continue on last week's video with the comment contingencies, and it's kind of a related topic of earnest money. Um, People might not know, outside of the home buying process, what earnest money is. Like most people, probably have heard of it or whatever. So just to break down kind of what it is and what it's used for and how it's helpful in the process of home buying. So as a buyer, when you have a contract, when you put an offer in on a property, say I want this property, 150,000. I want it, and then the seller says yes. So everybody signs off on it, and you are in a contract. Generally, 3 days after the contract, you as a buyer put down some earnest money. It's like a good faith deposit, basically, that says, hey, excuse me, hey, I'm interested in the property and I'm in this, and I put my money where my mouth is, for lack of a better word. So you put your money up. A lot of times, like with 150,000, I'll ask for like $500, for my buyers to put down. When they put it down, it's held by a third party in escrow. It's not held by the buyer. It's not held by me. It's not held by the seller. It's held in escrow, like nobody can touch it until the end of the contract or however it resolves. So the buyer might ask, what happens to my earnest money? Yeah, I put it in to the contract. What happens? Where does it go? So that is your money. If you get to the end of the contract and you're closing or whatever, and you owe, down payment, closing costs, whatever it is, right? It's applied towards some of this money. So you have to pay less out of pocket, minus your earnest money. So it goes towards whatever you owe if you get to the end. What does it mean to the seller? So the seller the seller can kind of use this as damages. So if the seller is like, if you break the contract, if you just were to get out in a time that you weren't allowed to get out, you know what I'm saying? You can leave. They'll let you leave. They're probably not going to take you to court. They'll probably just take your $500 or however much it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they kind of use, to keep everybody in line. Um, so going back to the contingencies, the last video. So the major ones, the due diligence period. That's generally 5 to 10 days right after the contract is signed. Gives the buyer a chance to check out the home. So when they're checking during this period, the buyer can get out for any reason. Any reason they decide they don't want to do it anymore. They looked at the house, they don't really like it. They might have saw something else come up that they want to go after instead. They can get out, for any reason during this period. And if they get out during the due diligence period, they get their earnest money back. No questions asked, you get the money back. Um, so that's one major way that you can get your money back. So don't be like too hesitant to kind of throw your offers out there and try to go after some of these homes, because you got some time to kind of look at it and get out and get your money back. So that's one reason. Another reason is appraisal. Like if the appraisal comes in low, like back to the contingency video. Not gonna go into too much, but you have an appraisal contingency that allows the buyer to walk away with their earnest money if they don't like the appraisal. They could also continue and leave their earnest money in the deal, um, and everything. Also for reasons of your financing falling through. There's a financing contingency as well, so you'll be able to get your earnest money. So they kind of go hand in hand. Um, the earnest money just kind of shows that you're serious. Just like anything else, if you put a lot of money up front, they'll know you're serious. So sometimes it's a strategy for buyers to put up a larger amount. Like I was saying, 500. But what if you put up 1,000, 2,000, 5,000? And sometimes the seller will ask for a larger amount because they're wanting people that are very serious only. Not to say that you're not serious at 500, but just to like double down, triple down, whatever down, to show that you're like super serious, and only those people they would accept, with those larger amounts in some cases. That's a little bit more rare though. But you do see it sometimes. They'll ask for like the seller might ask for a large amount of earnest money, or you could offer a large amount to set yourself apart from other applicants. Um, so that's just something something that you can kind of use as a bargaining tool. That would make you that much more serious, because if you were to breach contract, you would lose your money. So that would you would just be perceived as being that much more serious to go through it, because you wouldn't want to lose that large amount of money. So, that's one strategy. But that's just a little bit about earnest money. There may be some confusion. Some people might not really understand what it is. It's basically a deposit, and it can also be used to kind of settle a difference or whatever. If there's a breach of contract for the seller, from the seller's point of view, they can take that money and they can move on. Obviously, they're not going to take everybody to court. They're not going to wait for all that and all this kind of stuff. So generally, like the $500 or whatever the earnest money is will be used to kind of to kind of settle those differences or whatever. But anyways, hope that helps. Um, I'll continue to come out with videos every week and everything. Hope everybody has a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.